from $2,200 per square foot. I was like, wow, why sell so cheap? Landlord already comfortably transacting at $2,200, $2,300 per square foot. That's OCR. But this property, considering that the land price should be lower than other developers. Okay, hi everyone, my name is Zach. Welcome to another episode of our New Home Explained. Today we're going to talk about this project called LyndenWoods by CapitaLand. Okay, so without further ado, let's jump straight into it. Okay, these are my usual disclaimer. And talking about land price for LyndenWoods, okay, if you have been following the property market, you realize that you cannot find any government land sales or en bloc price regarding LyndenWoods. That is also because, okay, this piece of land has been held by developer for the past 30 over years. Okay, in fact, CapitaLand is the master developer for the whole of Science Park. Right, so this is the very first plot of residential in Science Park area, so you do have an first mover advantage, okay? And also in terms of land price, so if it is 30 over years ago, the land price must be more affordable compared to today. So if developer, okay, might actually offer buyers, okay, to give in at a slightly lower price because land cost is slightly cheaper. Okay, so this is an opportunity that you can take note. Okay, when the price is out, okay, on the actual day, you can do a comparison whether is it worth it to consider. Okay, project info. This is at 69 and 71 Science Park Drive, right under the RCR. Okay, which is very important. Okay, and about 11,000 square meter, 343 units. Okay, so not too small, but not too big either, right? 343 units, 2 blocks of 24 story high with 2 story of basement car park. I believe it's basement 1 and 2, right? ADDP is actually the architect for this project. So CapitaLand always work with ADDP, yeah? So if you're not familiar where LyndenWoods is, probably you don't work here or you have not even drive there to take a look, right? So if you are familiar with AYE, okay, and you come to exit 7A, you can actually enter, right, from the Normanton side towards, okay, LyndenWoods, where the picture is here. Okay, alternatively, you can actually do a exit 8, okay, entrance towards LyndenWoods. That is also where Kent Ridge MRT station is. This is merely just 5 to 6 minutes walk, okay, from LyndenWoods itself, and you will have to walk past this shopping mall called Genio, right? So on the northern side, you actually have got One North, right, situated across AYE from LyndenWoods, right? And this is the rest of the Science Park below. You also have got your greeneries, your garden, your park, okay, at Kent Ridge. Okay, over the left hand side, this is where NUS is. So if you look at the 3 big circle that I draw up here, so there will be a lot of tenants coming from the One North, from Science Park, and also from NUS. Okay, and towards the right hand side, you realize this is towards the Queenstown. A lot of HDB upgraders might potentially come in and buy into this location as well. Okay, these are some of the perspectives that the developer offer, right? So right across LyndenWoods, this is actually the Genio shopping mall and also some offices. So Science Park, so logically there will be more offices than residential or even shopping mall. Okay, another night view for this different perspective. So 4 different tower, you have got good size swimming pool, you have got tennis court, you also have got pickleball court here. This is the grand entrance, right? So I must always say that CapitaLand always does a good job in terms of the facade and also the experience within all the developments that they actually produce. Okay, the lap pool, right? The function room, the gym is here. 30 pax function room, okay, very nicely decorated, okay, for you to do your hosting. This is a smaller room called the social lounge, about 15 pax right beside the swimming pool. Okay, this is the gym. The capacity can hold up to as much as 20 pax, right, with all the equipments. While you're doing your treadmill, you're actually facing the swimming pool, so I think should be quite nice. Okay, this is the barbecue experience. So when you bring your friends for any birthday celebration, this is the place that you can do some barbecue with some cascading spa pool as well. You see the waterfall, right? I think this is quite impressive. Very nice. And also pets and forest play. So in this perspective, you can see that there's actually playground here, right? So some exercise corner, and I believe this is for the pets. So I think they're also anticipating a lot of buyers' residents here that they probably have got some cats and dogs, okay, that they can actually bring them here. Schematic plan and unit mix. So this is the site plan, right? So you realize they actually have got 4 different blocks. So this is 1, 2, 3, or 4 different tower, right? So why do I tell you that there's 4 different tower is because you realize every tower, they actually have got only 4 units, which makes this all point block, right? Point block. Okay, so what's the good thing about having point block is that everybody actually gets one corner. So naturally later when I show you the layout, there will be more windows, more natural lighting and more ventilation for such layout. Okay, so if you are towards this direction, take note this is actually the AYE direction. This is another road, okay, within the science park itself, right? Okay, so unit mix is also important. So you realize they are doing without the 1 and 5 bedroom here, okay, which I think it is a smart move, right? So not only this will help investors looking at capital appreciation, okay, it also focus on very much on the 2 bedroom, which makes up 67%. So they are targeting a lot of investors or small families staying here. So the reason why I say 1 bedroom is not so favorable is because 1 bedroom are usually investor. Rarely Singaporeans want to buy 1 bedroom for their own stay. And they typically don't hold the property for very long, right? So there's a lot of tenants coming in and out. They make a little bit of money, then they will move away. Okay, so we always want the bigger apartments to help us hold a good property and also help us together as residents, okay, to bring up capital appreciation. Okay, developer. Okay, 2 sides that you need to know. Why? Because on the residential side, you see that they have done extremely good job. Okay, they does project like Parktown, Jayden, Canning Hill, Pierce, Orchard Residence. Okay, from the OCR all the way to CCR. I think CapitaLand is very familiar with Singapore real estate. The other thing I want to highlight to you about CapitaLand, of course, is the malls, right? The malls that they have done. Why? Because right beside LyndenWoods is actually, okay, a genuine mall, right? So you actually get to experience CapitaLand kind of shopping experience. Okay, I have personally visited, so I think it's very nice. And this is collectively called the Science Park area that CapitaLand continue to transform. So if you are a CapitaLand fan, you will largely support their project. So I think they have done a great job so far, whether is it residential or commercial, okay, aspect. Okay, so the question now is, will there be future transformation? Because when we buy into any project, we always hope that there's future transformation, right? So if you can see the picture, you realize that in fact, CapitaLand has been transforming Science Park for the longest time, and also One North. So a lot of developments, not only on the commercial side, okay, it's actually done by them. Now they are also doing more residential, and this is actually the first plot. Okay, that's why there's a first mover advantage, okay, within the Science Park. Why? Because there's a lot of good tenants within this location, right? So with this approval by URA, now that they can build residential, I think it will bring in the first wave of people who wants to stay within Science Park as well. Okay, so Science Park, with this Genuine Mall fully operational, okay, so they are looking at about 21,000 people working here, right? So I believe there will be more tenants coming up in the next few months or in the next few years. Okay, and you can see this is where LyndenWoods is. This is the mall that is beside LyndenWoods. Okay, so it is like fully sheltered, okay, very close proximity, not only to the MRT station, but also to the amenities, which is good and ideal for people staying at LyndenWoods. Okay, in fact, I have visited this place, okay, extremely huge, about 39,000 square feet of retail, dining, and also lifestyle experience. So you don't necessarily have to drive out. Okay, in fact, just walking distance, you can reach this genuine mall. Okay, if you have not go to this mall, I think you should bring your family or at least go and visit this place as soon as possible. And this is what you are going to experience. Okay, they have got very high-end food court called the Makan Street. They have got different restaurants there, high-end like your Putian. They also have got local delights, fun toast. They have got toast box, so on and so forth. And the other thing that if you want to invest into LyndenWoods, okay, the question is always who will rent from me, where are they working, which company. So if you look at the screen, right, so there's people probably working in Dyson, Shopee, Johnson & Johnson. Okay, they can go to NUH, NUS, they will come from all these places. And of course, One North being the Silicon Valley of Singapore, they also have got different brands, right? So you see Razer, Apple, Grab, our MediaCorp is also there, Fujitsu, Shell, they are also there. So tenants will largely come from, again, either the Science Park, if not One North. Okay, so if you are somebody more adventurous, you want to drive out, okay, in fact, the nearest few amenities you can go to, of course, you have got your very prominent One Holland Village, your Star Vista, or even like you go to Queensway. Queensway have got very nice laksa and chicken rice, pork chop. Okay, so these are all within driving distance as well. And talking about transformation, just want to share with you, there's an empty plot of land just right opposite the road facing LyndenWoods. Okay, and the history of this, after I checked online, I realized that this writer's building is actually demolished. Okay, I believe there will be a new building coming up soon, or maybe developer would have right into URA for a change of use to residential as well. So this will continue to add the inventory into this. And few days ago, URA master plan actually came out. So this part of Singapore, the Science Park and also the One North, is being mentioned. So there's only two developments, okay, that is being shown. Number one is actually LyndenWoods, okay, which is at number 5, right? Is being mentioned. Why? Because there's transformation going on for the next 5 to 15 years. Second project, okay, that maybe you want to take a look is also Bloomsbury Residences. Okay, this is done by Qingjian, right? So there's more right up to this. So if you are free, you can take a look. I think they are talking a little bit more about the Science Park, Dover area, Media Polis that is going to transform in the next 5 to 15 years. So when you look exactly what changed, okay, you realize the state land, which is in yellow color, is now changed to residential. Right, so this is the first prominent change, okay, and the second part is actually from commercial, right, the blue color on the left hand side here, right, they are actually changed towards this residential with commercial at first story, right, so this is the before after. So 2019 versus 2025, what is the difference? So every time government, when they do this kind of draft master plan, there's any change of color, right, change of plan, right, so this will help us visualize or predict what's going to happen, okay, in the next 5 to 15 years. Okay, so more write-ups that you can take a look. So you can see Dover is actually being mentioned here, so the different plot of residential land is also being mentioned here. So now the question is actually on the price. So looking at the price, developer have already quoted they are going to start from $2,200 per square foot. I was like, wow, why sell so cheap? Landtor already comfortably transacting at $2,200, $2,300 per square foot. That's OCR. But this property RCR, why do they have to sell so cheap? So I think developer is also very wary about the current situation, the buying capability. So I think they try to put within, okay, the affordable range, considering that the land price should be lower than other developers. Okay, so probably for a first few units to attract more buyers to come into the show flat, they are starting with this 1.39 million for the 2-bedroom. Okay, so you can see 1.39 for the 2-bedroom, that's 635 square feet. Right, if you are somebody who need a 3-bedroom, okay, 1023 will start from 2.35 million, which is merely $2,300 per square foot for this RCR property. So the biggest apartment, 1647 square feet, will start from 3.58 million, right? Is it worth investing? Let's compare with the condominiums near us, right? So we actually have got this 1 kilometer away Hillshore property, but for the fact that it is freehold, they recently sold only 2 units, but they transacted as high as $2,500 per square foot, right? The Hill, okay, at 1 North, this is transacting as high as $2,650 per square foot. But I felt, okay, for LyndenWoods, what you need to compare, or the nearest comparison, is actually this project called 1 North Eden from my point of view. Why? Because in terms of size, okay, it has got 165 units, right? It is also near to MRT station, but considering LyndenWoods is nearer, and it is not too old, still considered fairly new, right? They TOP in about 2024, which is like 1 year ago, 1-2 years ago. Okay, and something to take note, okay, they actually have got good rental transactions there, meaning to say people are actually staying in this location. Why? Because right below you can also see Normanton Park transacting rental at more than 500 units. Okay, when you go back to 1 North, you realize that, okay, this project near to 1 North MRT is transacting up to $2,400 per square foot. Okay, Normanton Park is another worth mentioning project. Even though they are not near to MRT station, they go as high as $2,300 per square foot. So this is the price that you need to take note when you are considering into LyndenWoods, right? So I bring out this 1 North is because you realize, at least recently, okay, the past 10 to 15 transactions, they are all transacting between $2,300 to $2,400 per square foot. Okay, so this is in fact a resale property, especially in a few years time when LyndenWoods TOP, there will be a disparity of at least 4 to 5 years, okay, in terms of age. So rightfully, okay, if you can buy something below 1 North Eden, or at least the same as 1 North Eden when LyndenWoods TOP, I believe the price will be higher when compared to 1 North. Okay, this is LyndenWoods. I believe 1 North Eden, okay, will be below LyndenWoods. Okay, so this is the prices that you can actually take reference. Okay, so these are some of the estimated price range. So my suggestion, right, if you can consider, you should definitely grab something within this price range. Okay, $2,300 to $2,400 per square foot. Anything above 2450, my suggestion is you do have better choice to look outside, right? So that's also provided you are very lucky for your ballot. Okay, we already started the preview. If you are interested to take a look at LyndenWoods, please let me know, then we can go and take a look. Some of you, not only you're buying for own stay, you're buying for investment, right? So these are some projects. Okay, for 2-bedroom, 1 North Eden is about 5,008, Rochester 6,005, 1 North Residence about 6,007, but Zach says that you just assume 6,000 to 6,002, okay, comfortably you should be able to hit, okay, for rental. For 3-bedroom, okay, I would say you can talk about $7,500 to $8,000, okay, for the 3-bedroom rental. Of course, you can see 1 North Residence can go as high as $10,000, but being a investor, you always want to be a little bit more prudent. So I have not included the 4-bedroom because I think a majority, or if not, if you buy a 4-bedroom, it should be for own stay, right? Okay, floor plan comparison. Just now I mentioned these are all point blocks, so it always offers you more natural lighting, better layout, okay, with more window. So I'm going to do this very quickly. You realize that I think CapitaLand has done a great job, okay? 2 bed, 1 bath, right? So this is the smallest unit here that you can buy at LyndenWoods. Something to take note is that it is very rare to see a window right beside the dining. So this one will give you a more natural lighting. And this B2 layout, okay, once you come in, you straight away experience this landscape layout for this 2-bedroom, which is pretty rare, right? So why is landscape good? Okay, because a lot of buyers like it. So in the resale market, this one will probably sell a lot more expensive in the future. Okay, and you look at this, they did not do a dumbbell layout. In fact, they put bedroom 2 and master bedroom side by side, but you realize there is no wasted corridor space, so which is very smart. Of course, for this 2-bedroom, you have to accept that it is a kitchenette for both layout itself. And also, I think the other thing to take note, okay, there's actually a Jack and Jill here, right? So there's 2 doors to the master bath. Okay. Okay, the other layout, if you can afford a little bit more for the 2-bedroom, okay, I suggest you can consider this 2-bed, 2-bath. In fact, they are of very similar layout. So once you come in, you actually have got a kitchen first, then you have got your bedroom 2 followed by your master. It's just that they are facing different direction. They are at a different block. Okay, so you do have the one facing the pool, you also do have the one facing the science park. Okay, same thing for this B3 and also this B4 layout, right? So the other thing to take note, okay, I think it is important, especially for master, is to have the window, okay, within the bathroom for ventilation, right? So that your bathroom will not become moldy. Okay, let's move on to the 2-bedroom plus study. So if you are somebody who needs 3-bedroom, but in terms of budget wise, okay, you try to have a 3-bedroom but at a more affordable price, you can consider this study. Why? Because this study that we put here, right, can technically put a single bed. Okay, so this is, it can be temporary for the next 3 to 5 years, right? When you stay here, then later on, 3 to 5 years later, when you sell, then you can upgrade again. But what you need to take note is that for this BS2 layout, this layout, it comes with an enclosed kitchen. Okay, this enclosed kitchen is important. This one is open kitchen. Okay, then for B3S is also enclosed kitchen. Right, so some of you will probably like this a little bit more. I think in terms of resale value, next time it's easier for you to sell the BS2 and also the BS3. Okay, all have got a study area. It's just that some of them come in, you turn right is your study. The others will be come in, you turn left is your study. So it depends on what you like. Okay, 3-bedroom, what is the main difference is actually the extra, okay, household shelter, which is very important. Why? Because you usually have got helper, okay, especially those with family. So this is really important to have a household shelter. But to talk about this 3-bedroom, this is C1. C2 actually have got this additional yard area. Okay, which is also important because this yard comes with WC. Okay, so C1 doesn't have a yard area or a WC. So if you mind your helper using the common bathroom, then you go for C2. Okay, so I think if not, the rest are very good layout, and they also separated the bedroom 3. Okay, they separated the bedroom 3, right, from the other 2-bedroom, which is very smart. Okay, this is the bigger 3-bedroom plus guest. So of course you have got this guest area here, Additionally, for the wardrobe, okay, they give you a bigger walk-in wardrobe. Previously you don't have a walk-in wardrobe, right? So this one can act as a 4-bedroom if you ask me. Yeah, I'm not sure whether you need a 4-bedroom, but it is supposed to be a guest room. So guest room, if you can see, they actually have got window, right? Then you can put a single bed there. So if you don't want to pay 4-bedroom yet want to have 4-bedroom, you can consider buying this, okay, 3-bedroom plus guest, right? So you can look at the kitchen. They got very sizable kitchen. They have got yard, they have got WC for the helper as well. So very good layout for this 1292 square feet. Okay, I come to the 4-bedroom, which is the biggest layout. So first, you must understand you actually have got your private live lobby here. Okay, once you come in, you are greeted by this landscape living, dining plus balcony experience. So you need to open up, you can actually host a lot of people. Okay, then also kitchen on the right hand side, very sizable. They do this telescopic sliding door. Okay, and this is very interesting, called the aircon ledge. Basically at the window, if you can see my picture here, right, they actually put in a ledge for you to enjoy your breakfast. Then of course your walk-in wardrobe in the master, right, extremely huge, L-shape, okay, before you enter into your bathroom. And all this bedroom 3, 4, junior master and also master, they are all tucked onto the right hand side of the floor plan, right? So it gives you full privacy, okay, for this LyndenWoods 4-bedroom premium. Okay, and of course this direction here, this direction here, you realize that this one goes out to your common live lobby, right? So very good layout, especially the master is really huge. Okay, so some conclusion and closing thoughts. I think LyndenWoods at this location, I must say it is not for everybody, right? So not every ordinary Singaporean can accept staying in a science park, a business node area. But I think this is also the advantage of an investor. Why? Because not only we want capital appreciation, we also want to have good return. Business park, naturally, you have got more good tenants coming into this location because they don't want to commute too far from their workplace. So whether is it One North or Science Park, okay, the tenants there will want to rent somewhere, okay, that is near to the mall and also the MRT station, because most of the tenants do not drive. So with this strategic location just alongside AYE, you are surrounded by all these commercial business node and also NUS, which is school. I think it helps you, okay, long term down the road to have back-to-back high rentability, okay, and good tenants coming into the project itself. And this project is done by CapitaLand, so very renowned, very reputable. They are definitely going to provide you very good quality stuff within the development. Okay, the show flat I have seen already, extremely nicely decorated. Okay, they elaborate a lot on the small little details, which I think you should come and take a look as well. And I think this one focuses a lot on people who wants to invest and have good rental returns. Okay, and for the price range, they start with $2,200 per square foot. Think about it, this is where all the businesses are done, good location, yet selling at OCR price. Okay, RCR selling at OCR price. So this value is an opportunity for those lucky buyers with good numbers. Okay, you can consider buying LyndenWoods. Okay, with that, here comes the end of LyndenWoods Explain, right? If you have got any question, feel free to ask inside the comment section below. And I also do my one-on-one sharing with my clients as well. If you need, do drop me a message. Okay, and if you want to visit the show flat, please let me know. Okay, you can message me as well. With that, I wish you all the best for your real estate investment journey. See you soon.